Incredible greetings. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. I'm so sorry about the delay. I had to restart my computer. So we are starting a little bit late for today's 25 days of Craftmas, day 5. I also had to figure out what I was going to do. So yeah, but hey, we figured it all out. We are going to customize a Care Bear and turn it into a holiday themed Care Bear. You can pretty much do this, like these techniques, anything. I'll show you the one that I did for my son with Bluey and is it Bingo, Ringo, whatever his name is, child. That's one of Zani Monty's favorite shows. And I actually did him one earlier today so I can put it on his door. And then I was trying to figure out what to do. And then someone suggested holiday like Care Bears. So, hey, that's what we're going to do tonight because I needed to, I always do at least one design day for like my days of 25 days of Craftmas. This year, actually I do more than that. Most of my days are normally like design because I was always the resident like design person, so at studio and stuff like that. And I'll have a few crafts. This year, I'm actually doing more like hands-on type crafts. We did the Grinch hand holding the ornament on Saturday. Today, we're going to do some designing. I normally do things like greeting cards, or I did like a placemat one year. So trying to do like something different. I was, asking for suggestions on things that you guys wanted to see, and those were the few. And I went live. This are the few of them. This came up amongst the suggestions. There we go. Next Saturday, I'm doing a Santa tray on a Mainstay, Walmart tray table. And then I am doing Christmas cookies on Christmas Eve. So those are my days. I just didn't know what I wanted to do today because I normally do greeting cards, and I really didn't want to do greeting cards again this year because it's our 5th year and I've literally done a greeting card every single year. So I wanted to be a little bit different this year. All right. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to share this all out. And then we're going to get started. Okay. All right. So let's share. Make sure that you guys give the video a thumbs up. As you guys come in, say hey, drop a hey, how you doing? Hello in the chat. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Now, this one is always a little bit difficult in me being able to share it from DIY Crafting Network because I'm an admin. It always wants me to like jump over and change to that one, but I just want to share from this one. So all right, so let me just share it to the groups real quick. Feel free to share it as well. We have been doing this for the past 5 years. Myself and a group of other very creative people, we have gotten together and we each take a different day and we do different crafts every single day. Every single day, there is a different craft. For everything from embroidery, I know they did a snowman hat. Gucci did some things with ornaments and made like the falling, it's called something else, I can't think of the name of it. Gravity, no, I can't think of the name of it, but she did the ornaments. It's like the suspended like ornaments. And last night, yeah, Ebony did an activities book. So all sorts of crafts. You normally have someone that does like earrings and things like that. We've had some guests before that did like some cooking. I'm not sure we're gonna have any Christmas dishes this year other than like my cookies. But we will see. I really miss when Ratisha used to do the popcorn. Oh my God. Love, 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 love that. So yeah, but all types of different crafts. So be sure to head on over to DIY Crafting Network. That way you are able to see all of the creatives and what all that they're bringing to the table this year. Okay. Oh, I'm missing a day. I'm doing sublimation the third week. My day, it's on a Tuesday. I'm doing some sublimation stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, I know I'm missing something. That's when I'm doing some sublimation, some ornaments and things like that. All right. But today we are going to do designing. We're going to design some custom Care Bears. Okay. Alrighty. So we are going to get started. Make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up. Check the subscribe button. So right now, if you are watching over on YouTube, if you are in the chat, exit out, go over, make sure that your subscribe button is, it's set to subscribe and you turn the notification bell on. And as far as seeing the other ones, they won't be on my YouTube channel. You would have to go over to DIY Crafting Network. Put that in the search bar over on Facebook. And we always share it out. So if you're in my Facebook group, honestly speaking, Silhawks Anonymous, we normally share it there as well. So you'll come across it. Just make sure that you have your notifications on for the group. And we are going to get started. I'm going to do this in both Silhouette Studio and I'm going to do a little bit of Photoshop work as well. All right. All righty. Let's get started. All right. So let me see, let me find, I think it should be in my recovered documents because I had to shut down my computer also. That's the delay that we had. I had to shut everything down. Let's see, is this the one? Or did I save it already? Okay, there we go. So earlier today, and TikTok got to see it, I took this image of Bluey and Bingo and I put the Santa hats on them and colored them in by tracing it and turn that into a vector so I can make it different colors. So we did that one. I did that one earlier today. And I think that's kind of where, she was like, okay, well, let's do one, but with Care Bears. So we're going to kind of sort of do this, but I'm going to do it with Care Bears and add like a holly or add a Christmas tree. We'll figure it out what we wanted to add there. I also have one that I'm going to do. I'm going to try and make it look chocolatey. Or maybe just do it in red or color like that because I have the Cocoa Bomb. But it's a little bit harder to do in Silhouette Studio as far as changing the color with this type of image, which is why I'm showing you Photoshop, because I've done it before where I've shown you guys how to use the image effects to change colors. But with this type of image and the colors that I want it to be, it's a little bit harder to get that color range. So I'm going to do that part in Photoshop. All right. If you don't have Photoshop, you won't be able to, do something like this, but you can definitely try these techniques out in Silhouette Studio. Remember that Silhouette Studio is absolutely free. You don't have to have a machine in order to utilize Silhouette Studio. Okay. All right. So first things first, you can use any hats. You can get one that's already in SVG. I chose this one because it's just line art. I'll be able to trace the outline and then be able to fill it in with different colors. Okay. So I'm going to go over to my trace tool. I'm going to go select trace area, place my box, increase my threshold. I'm sorry. Well, why is it not picking up? Wait a minute now. I didn't have to go up that high last time. What the heck is going on here? I did not have to go up that high last time. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I had to reset. We're going to go trace. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, there we go. And there are our traces. So I actually forgot to ask the question. How many of you guys are new? Kind of, okay, I've been dabbling around with it, but I'm not really like full on comfortable in Silhouette Studio. So how many of you guys are new to using Silhouette Studio? Let me know by putting a 3 in the comment section if you're brand new to using Silhouette Studio. Put a 6 if you have been working with it, you're fairly comfortable with using it. You feel like if you need to sit down, you can do kind of anything in it. And then 5 if you are not using it at all. You may have a Cricut, so you may feel like, oh, I don't need Silhouette Studio. So 5 if you're not using it at all. 6 you have some experience, you feel kind of confident in it. And 3 if you are a newbie. Because I just want to kind of see who's in the room, so I know how detailed I have to get, like if you guys aren't familiar with. So I see a couple 6 here. So you guys are comfortable with this, so you understand about tracing, you understand about how to fill things in with color. So if I was to give you a pop quiz for all those who have a 6, you're going to be able to answer that for me. So let's do this, right? So I trace this, right? I'm going to click on it and I'm going to add some color. I'm going to add any color to it. Is that what's supposed to happen, where the whole thing is filled with color? So see over here, we have color, right? But on this one, we don't have color. I click in here, I'm just selecting in the middle. How do I make this to where I am able to color it in? What is it that I have to do to be able to color this in? All right, okay. So we have some of the correct and release compound path, release compound path. All right. So here. So for all of my people who put a 6 or somewhere between a 3 and a 6, do you think that with just having the image, you would be able to, could you visualize and know exactly what all you had to do to get this? Now, this is just a solid PNG image. And of course, you saw how we got the Santa hats. So to go from here to here, is this something that you would feel confident in being able to do? Nope, no second trace is needed. So what we have to do is what some of you guys have stated is we're going to right click and choose release compound path. That is going to release all of like the shapes, and they're all going to fill with color. This is what we want it to do. so that we can now go in. I'm going to hold down Shift, select, and we're going to change the color on this. And then the hats can be made, technically, any of these can be made into any color. Okay. And then the outline can also be any color. So it doesn't have to be black. It can, I'm going to now remove my line color now that I have everything filled in with color. That way we can see what's going on a little bit better. Oops. So we're going to click on this one and I'm just going to make it a different shade of blue. Okay. So it does not have to be black just because the original was black. All right. No one answered that question. So y'all wouldn't be able to go in and kind of recreate that yourself. Can you figure out like what tools and things that we did for that one? This is actually really, really easy because it's just camouflaging. Sometimes we'll see certain things and we won't realize like how easy it is. We kind of overcomplicate the thought process of what it would take to do it. So we're really just needing the two elements. So we had to trace this one. We're going to also trace. We're going to do what's called a trace and detach. So I'm going to come over here. I always like to duplicate, just like to keep it original. We're going to come back to trace, go select trace area. Thank you guys so much for the likes. I'm going to put my box around it. And there is like a shadow. There's white behind it. There's like so much stuff going on in this like image. But I don't really need all that. I need to focus on only where the color is. So I'm going to take my threshold up. I'm not worried about the whole thing coloring in. I just want to make sure that the edge of the bear has yellow all the way around it. Then we're going to go trace and detach. Once we do that, we click on it and we move this away. And I can delete it. So now I have just the image without the background. Although this is pretty much the same pose, just in a different color, I'm going to do it again so that you can see, even though this has white and gray touching the image, is basically the same thing. So we're going to put our box around it. We're going to take our threshold up some. Don't have to take it up as high. And then we're going to go trace and detach. And it's going to pull away the bear from the background. Here we go. All right. So I want to show that really quick in Photoshop. The one thing about this one is going to be a little bit easier because there is a remove background option built into Photoshop. So right here, when like you click on something, you'll have like this little bar at the bottom. If you have the properties window open, it will show. So you want to make sure that you are on that particular layer and you're going to go remove background. Basically, what's going to do is just create a clipping mask. So you saw over there was nothing there. Now there is the little box with the black on it. So it just created a clipping mask. I always like to put a solid color behind my images so that I can see like what all that clipping mask did. And I already knew this was going to happen because I did this one. But it took out some of the ear. And then we still have some of the area like over here. So I'm going to go to that clipping mask. I can say clipping mask. I just realized I said that. Vector mask, not clipping mask. Two totally different things. Vector. All right. And so that's this right here. And we're going to go to our brush, which got to kind of, it's a little bit difficult for y'all over here on TikTok. So I'm going to go to my brush. I'm going to go up here to the top And I'm going to make my brush size smaller. And it's already on white. White is to the foreground. Black conceals, white reveals. So I need to bring this part back. So I need it to be white. And I'm just going to paint that part in, and it's going to bring back the ear. Now over here, I can attempt to do it with like just brushing it off, but that can be kind of tricky. So I'm going to come over here and use my quick selection, or you can also try using like the magic wand, or you can use like your pen tool. I'm going to go back and forth between subtracting and so let's see if I can, I hate when that happens. All right, let's see if I use the magic wand. And just try and get, see, it's going to pick up on all of that area. All right, so I'm okay with that because it's picking up in there. And I'm just going to go to my paintbrush, switch it to black. And I'm just going to paint that out. So it gave me the whole outline. I'm not worried about that. I just wanted it to pick up in here. So I'm just going to brush that out, and that's gone. Now I feel like there's still a lot of white on the end. Whereas the one over here, I will put the same color background behind it. I personally think Silhouette Studio did a better job of removing the background and getting it really, really close to it. Like just with the standard, you know, trace and detach. Doing the click of a button for remove background, I had to do a little bit more work in Photoshop. So some people think that like Photoshop is like the greatest, but I keep telling y'all there are some things that are just a lot easier to do in Silhouette Studio. All right. So now that I have that removed, here is where it can get kind of funky because I can't really change colors like I can in Photoshop. Silhouette Studio has an image effects, but when we go to where we change colors, which is hue to the hue under colorize, I'm not getting I'm not going to get the tone of like red that I want. It's a little too saturated using this. So for this one, I'm going to leave them as green, and I'm just going to put a Christmas tree. So I'm going to replace the clover leaf with a Christmas tree. So we're just going to exit out of that. So for our hat, we're going to pull this here. And as we can see, it's too big. Okay. Now this is the other thing too, with trying to find like high resolution images. Sometimes we can't find them. And if you make something that's a true vector, it's going to be completely smooth. You may want to just find a PNG of PNG of the Santa hat or whatever you want to add to it, because then it will kind of sort of match those pixels. Whereas with vector, there's no pixels, so it is completely smooth. So when I zoom in on that, you can tell that they are of two different types of images. One of the things that I have done in the past, and you're going to see it on the other one because I already have it open, I will save that as a PNG in Select Studio, like save just the hat by itself, so that it can kind of basically like pixelate itself out, and then bring that back in and place it there so that it matches up a little bit better, because it is completely sharp. There are no pixels. So that's the only thing with this one. So if I zoom in on it, you're going to see that this is not completely like high resolution, has some blurriness to it, has some pixelation to it, but then the hat is like super sharp. So you want to be mindful of that when you are combining elements and you are designing and putting your designs together. And I'll show you, let me see, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive. Let's see. Santa hat for Care Bear. And I'm going to make this a PNG file. I don't want this to be a really high resolution. I want it to be transparent. I'm going to take this down a little bit. Can't really tell, like, I may have to do this, may have had to do it like a couple of times to get it where it's not like super, super sharp. So I'm just going to take this down maybe to about here. I'm going to go save. And then we're going to go file, merge, and I'm going to merge that back in and just kind of see the quality of it because I don't want it to be super, super sharp. So we're going to go home. Let's see. Did it save here? Do I have to go into that? Okay. Santa hat for Carebears. We're going to click on that. It's right here. Okay, so that was a little bit too low in resolution. I probably could have went to like 75 or somewhere in there. But what you can, like, the difference you can tell is I pixelated it too much, but it's not super sharp. So that's a little tip for you guys. Like, if you need to match something that is not high resolution, doesn't have super, super sharp, clean lines, like a vector file, that's a technique that you guys can use. Go ahead and let's see. I don't know what you guys to put. Just let me know in the comment if that was helpful for you, because I can't think of put this in the comment if that was helpful. I think that's, just let me know in the comment if that little tip was helpful for you. Okay. I guess drop a gem, because they always say, people be dropping gems. Drop a gem if you felt like that was a good gem for you. All right. But I'm just gonna use this one over here because there's a couple things that I want to do. So for me, I know it's supposed to be Craftmas, but I can't help but teach. I cannot help teach and provide some education on designing and how to make things really, really cohesive. Okay, wait, can y'all hear me over there? Because I'm not seeing any engagement in the comments. Want to know if y'all can hear me? Can you hear me? I'm not seeing the engagement. Ask a question. Was it helpful? Drop a gem. Not really seeing that. So does that mean that it wasn't helpful? Did you not hear my question? Didn't understand the question? All right, well, we're going to move on. So like I said, I'm all about teaching and how to make designs cohesive. And for some, it's like overthinking and they would never think about it. But I am combining something that is like, it wasn't like a part of this original thing. Like, I trace it. So what stands out for me, actually, I'll see. Well, I don't know if y'all gonna answer because y'all aren't really, talking back to your girl, but I'm gonna just put it out there. I'm gonna give you guys a couple seconds to answer. Is there anything that seems off other than like the sharp lines? Anything that seems off or might need to be adjusted when you're looking at the Santa hat and the Care Bear? Candy Girl says, I'm listening. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Not that I can tell. Thank you for the peacock. It was helpful for me. All right. Not that I can tell. The stomach, no, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna change that to a like something Christmassy, something holiday-ish. Okay, it's shaded. So I don't think anyone's gonna pick up on it, and that's where. Well, we're not really. Yeah, we already know that it can't. We just talked about how to correct that. So this is where I come in at, where I'm going to share with you guys these design concepts, things that you should think about when you're designing to make your design cohesive. It will be it's very simple things, like setting this up really is easy. This really would have been like a 5-minute video. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm actually dragging it out a little bit too long because now we're at 30 minutes. But it's the little things, right? So if you look at the Care Bear, and how it is designed and look at the outline of it. The outline of the Care Bear is thicker than the outline of the Santa hat. So for me, most people wouldn't pick up on it. They, just like without me now pointing it out, wouldn't even think about it, right? Now that I've said it, you're not going to be able to unsee it. If I put this here with the way that the thickness is here and the hat, they don't match. It looks like it was not drawn together. It was not designed together. It ends up looking like you just took this hat and threw it on top of it because it doesn't match it. So what do we do when it comes to a vector file? What do we do to correct that? I'm going to show you. So we're going to keep the original. All right. Now, some people would say, put an offset on it, which isn't, I'm not going to say that's like an incorrect answer, because we can go offset, and I'm going to go 0.025. Let's see, I don't want it too big. So let's say there, right? So I'm going to go apply. I'm going to make that black, and I'm going to remove the outline. Now, for the outline of it, I think that's pretty good. That might be spot on as far as the thickness, right? It's starting to match a little bit, right? But where's there a problem at? The outline, wonderful, great, right? Where's the problem at now? It's only on the outside. On the inside, it still is very thin. So some people said line thickness. There's actually no line here. Like, I don't have the line on. Now, you can do it that way, where we're going to make the line black. I would put a little bit of thickness to it to kind of beef that up. I'm going to move the original. So let's say maybe 2 instead. Okay. So that works also. Depending on it's more so based off of the line. It's not like the actual image where it's cut off that way. So one of the things that I would end up doing with this is I'm going to release comp. Not release compromise. Already released. I'm going to ungroup it. I'm going to take my inside parts. We're going to go ahead and group those together. I'm just going to make them a standard color. I'm going to turn my line color back on to red. I'm going to go to my offset. So I'm going to go to internal offset. And I'm going to make that small. So let's go 0.015. That actually might work. Okay, so we're going to hit apply. I'm going to group that together. And then move the background and that. Oh yeah, I love that one. So we're going to ungroup it, make this white. Oops. And make this red. So this is the original. This is the one where we just made the line color thicker. But with this one, let's say you were to sell this file. If I turn the line color off on this one by mistake, it goes back to thin. Whereas with this one, there are no line colors whatsoever. It is the actual like shape of it. We shrunk it down some using the internal offset. Okay. Give me 2 gems if that was helpful for you. All right. So we're going to just place this here. And you just want to rotate it, move it around so that it fits in place. So I'm going to shrink this one some. Now, we have to think about where the hat should naturally fall and make sure that we are sizing it to fit in that area. I think that this, like if I go up here, I don't know, that one's not bad putting it up that high. I kind of want to bring it down some. Well, what ends up happening is the ear is to the outside. If we're not going to make it to look like it's in between the ears and we're pulling the other ear like on this side, we don't want any ear peekabooing out on the other side. So make sure that you go back in. We're going to double click. And this is where, like I said, you always should have a duplicate. So on this one, we're going to double click. And I'm just going to take those edit points and just bring them inside the Santa hat. So that way it's not peekabooing out. Okay. So that one's done. Now, here we need to cover this up. Real easy, real simple. Like I said, to do this, most people will probably complicate it more than they need to. There is no way to kind of like blend out or brush over it. What we're going to end up doing is just putting a shape. That's it. And then grouping it all together so that we can put the holiday element on top. So we're going to just go like that. I'm going to double click because right now I am going outside, like it's into the blue. So we're going to click on that, bring this up. I'm going to bring this side down a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to sample this color and turn off my line color. So now I have a blank canvas that I can put something there. Now I have my little cocoa bomb. I'm going to just trace and detach this real quick. But I'm really going to put a Christmas tree there, but I just want you to see that technically you can put anything there. We're just going to increase this, increase our threshold. Trace and detach. We want to make sure, see, it's going to go behind it. So we want to make sure that we bring that to the front. If I wanted it to cover like a lot of it, if I want to keep it small, everything is just layering. That's all it is. But that doesn't match in color. So we are going to put a Christmas tree or something there. So I went over to Creative Fabrica, whichever way you prefer to say it. And we have a download. So I'm going to go over here. I downloaded some Christmas trees. You can also just kind of search for them and do a trace, which is what we did on here. Just do a regular trace. But I did download some Christmas trees and holly. So we're just going to click here and extract all. We're going to copy this. I'm going to go browse. I put it in a Creative Fabrica downloads. That's because I know it came from Creative Fabrica. I'm going to go right click, new folder. I'm going to paste that name in that folder. I'm going to double click on it to select that folder, and that's where it's going to go. And I'm going to extract. I'm going to do the holly one too, just in case. All right, this one is complete. We're going to go Christmas trees. And oh, it looks like they did them all in one file. So I'm just going to open up a new one here and I'm going to just drag and drop. So we're going to go back to Christmas trees. Oh, no. Okay. No, it did. It separated it. I'm going to right click and say view large icons so that I can see which tree is which. And then I'm going to pull in the one that I want to use. I think this one had, okay, this is the one that I wanted, like the little swirly one. So I can bring in the PNG file or I can bring in the SVG file. The SVG one, I would be able to change the color on it. Like if I wanted to change the heart. This one, if I want to change the color on it, I do have to trace it. So if you don't have Designer Edition or above, you would have to bring this in and trace it. But for me, for this one, I'm going to exit and come over here, paste it. We're going to sample the green. And I think I do want to change the heart. So we're going to release compound path, select the heart, make it a compound path, select the tree, make that a compound path. And then I'll decide after I put it up here, like what color I want. I guess we'll make it red. I want to rotate it a little bit. If I want to make this a little bit thicker, I can do an offset 0.015. I think I like the thicker one better than the thinner one. And then we could do things like if we wanted to decorate it, maybe add what looks like lights or ornaments to it. So you can always add to it like that if you wanted to. The other thing that I don't really care for is the black, because on the Care Bear, the outline is a darker shade of the color of the Care Bear. So we want to, again, still match that. So on the hat, I'm going to ungroup it. I'm going to click on the hat. And all right, here is how I'm going to get a darker shade. I want to take this red. I'm going to put this black on top. I'm going to take my transparency down. And I'm going to sample in that area, which is going to make that darker. I'm now going to go to my outline and make it that color. I think that's a little too dark. So we're going to take our transparency down a little bit more. I like that one better. And then someone mentioned as far as like shadows and stuff like that, if we take our draw curve shape, I can create whatever shape I want. I'm going to click on the red part of the hat. I'm going to duplicate it. So we're going to copy. I'm not going to paste it yet. hold down Shift, click on that shape, and we're going to modify and crop. Okay, I'm going to group that together. I'm going to go paste in front, but then select everything that is here and send it to the back and make this. Let's go with this one, but then take it down. So it has a little shadow on it. I can make the shadow on the white part of this. I want to show you guys a different way. So I'm going to just go like this, rotate it, copy it. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to duplicate it right in front. I'm going to hold down Alt, click, bring this to the front, make this the same color as it is here. Hold down Shift, click on that circle I made, and I'm going to go back to modify, but instead of crop, because I want I don't want what's in the inside, I want to reverse it, I'm going to hit subtract. And there is that one. Actually should have done it over here also. So let's do like this. Bring it to the front. Oh, bring it to the front. Color it in, hold down Shift, click, and subtract. So there we go. And now it matches the shading and everything else. Ooh, there we go. Much better. All right, I'm going to move the little red ornaments, and I'm just going to group my little Care Bear together. Now, in Photoshop, if you're a Photoshop creative, it's a little bit different when it comes to like how to get those to get the, what's the thing called? The Santa hat, and being able to fill in the colors, because you have to kind of select it and then brush the color in or fill it in. Wait a minute. Where did it go? Oh no, file recent. I thought I had it open. Santa hat, recent. Where's my Santa hat? Okay, so let's just go open. And then it's gonna go back. We're gonna go down to PNGs, because I actually did that one ahead of time for the other one. So I saved it as a PNG from Silhouette Studio, and I broke up the hat. So I'm gonna click on that. So I broke it up already. So I put this part and then here. So if I wanted to change the color of this, I'm just going to kind of show you. I would have to select this part, and then you can either use a paint bucket or you can just fill it in with color to change it. Okay. And then I'm going to deselect. So that changes that. The thing with Photoshop is, unlike Silhouette Studio, where you can do a trace and detach, or you can release compound path to separate these elements, you can't do that in Photoshop. It's its own layer. So now you have more work to do, because I'm going to have to come over here to my marquee tool. I'm going to place a box around just this one. I'm going to go Control X to basically delete it, Control V to bring it back. And then we're going to move this off to the side. I'm going to do that again. And I have to make sure that I'm on that layer. Right now I'm on the top layer. I'm going to click on the next one, Control X, Control V. Because if I were to draw my marquee, and I'm on the other layer, if I go X, nothing happens. It tells me that there's nothing there because on that layer in that region, there is nothing there. So we're going to click off. I have to make sure that I'm on that layer. Control X, Control V. That one's there. And because it's the last one, it is now isolated by itself. All right. So I'm going to use this one. And I actually already beefed this one up in Silhouette Studio, so I don't have to beef it up here. I'm going to select this and come on now. Actually, not copy. I'm just going to click it, and you know what? I'm going to want to change this. So let's put a solid color. And I now need to use my lasso tool. Actually, you know what? I can use magic wand. So let's use the magic wand. Click in there. I'm going to exit and I'm going to paste it. It's just that it's not like right in the position it was in before, but there we go. I'm going to select the two, move them over to my Care Bear file, just drag and drop it. Oh, I forgot my background. So let's come back over here. Drop that in. We want to move this to the top. We want to move the white layer to the top. Move this around. We're going to group those. Okay. And then Control T for free transform. And I'm going to put this, let's say, like right here. I'm going to get rid of this momentarily because it's like it's in the front and it's not wrapping around. Although I could just pull it out and it will kind of create like a shadow, but I don't really like that. So I'm going to bring this back into about there. Oh, I never grouped it together. Oh, okay. My bad. Okay, I think I like it about here. My ears are popping out of the top. So we have to come to this layer, which it already has a clipping mask on it. Now that means that if I want to undo it, I'm going to like not have that. So what I want to do before I do any removing or concealing, I want to go ahead and apply that layer mask. That way, this is now just like this. It's void of the background. I'm going to add another layer mask to it, go to my paintbrush, and I'm just going to mask away the ears. And then because I made this one a layer by itself, I can now use the color overlay. I don't have to go in and like paint the color in. I can double click on it. I can go over to color overlay. And I'm going to go normal. And whatever color I put here is the color that it will be. If I want to do shadowing, I'm going to add a layer on top of that. I'm going to grab my brush tool And I'm going to, let's go with a darker red. So it's a little bit easier when it comes to picking colors this way. I would be able to brush that in. It looks kind of weird now. Let's see. Okay, I did it. I was right the other way. I just want to make sure. But why is it not? Why are you not showing up? All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to my magic wand, click on it, but then I'm going to come up to the top layer and I'm going to brush it in so that it stays to the inside. And then deselect. So there is some shadowing on that one. Here, we can brush this off. We can mask it off. So if I go to my brush tool, I'm going to make it white. If I want it to be permanent on here and I just want to take that away so it's a clean, like I just have a clean canvas and I can change the colors and I can always just put something here. I just want to brush over it. Okay. So I'm just going to go to my magic wand. I'm going to, so let's deselect. I need to make sure that I am on this layer. Go to my magic wand. That's the other thing with Photoshop too. Like when you click in certain areas, it's not like you're clicking it. You have to be on that layer or hold control. So I'm going to click there. See, it didn't really pick up the pixels like I wanted to. So we're going to deselect it. I mean, I could always contract, but I don't want to do that. I'm just going to change my tolerance and go up a little bit. See, I don't like how it went around it. So I'm just gonna paint over it, or just brush over it. I was trying to hopefully do that so I didn't have to be like so careful. But I'm just gonna brush over it. And when I get down to this part, I just have to be really careful. And I'm actually gonna switch my brush to a harder brush and not a soft brush. That way it doesn't go into the blue too much. Here we go. So now this is a clean canvas. I would be able to change the color on it, all that kind of good jazz. I'm going to just duplicate this guy. And I'm going to show you about changing the color. Okay. So over on your layers panel, same thing like we did before as far as color overlay. You're going to double click on that. It's going to bring up your layer styles or image effects, style effects. I'm going to go color overlay, but we don't want it to be just a solid red. So I'm going to go with that one. So what we want to do is change the blend mode. So I'm going to go to hue. So he's more like a caramelly mocha type color. If I go color, it makes him a little bit darker. So I'm going to go hue, but I'm just going to change the color. So I'm going to go a little bit darker. Let's okay, I think I want him. Oh, no, that's too much. Him, her, same difference. Them, they. about there, okay? Because that's gonna make my little cocoa bomb, it's gonna make that to where it matches it, especially like the little swirls on it. So on this one, I'm gonna remove my background, place that there, Control T. I'm gonna grab all the elements of my hat, hold down Alt to duplicate it, bring it down here. I can change the Santa hat, change the color, all of that stuff. So I'm able, like, so when you have the blank canvas, you can put anything in the belly. You can change it to any color that you want it to be. Uh-oh, my bad. You guys can't see over here. Change it to whatever color, put whatever element, like match it up. So you'll have that as a blank canvas. And that's how you can do it in Photoshop if you are a Photoshop person. And of course, Silhouette is my favorite place to do it. You can also have what's like considered a blank canvas here. But with Silhouette, like I said, the colors won't change like that. So it's better to try and find a Care Bear that is like closer to the kind of color that you want. So find one that's in red, or if you want to make these for New Year's, you want to make it gold, you want to make it whatever color, try and find an image that's already in that color. Or you can, there's a lot of different apps where you can do what you did, like what I did in Photoshop. You can also use Photopea, change it up, change the color, then bring it into Silhouette Studio and do everything else that I did here. And then once you have this is just one part of the element. You are creating that custom piece. Now you take it and you can put it, design it for a mug, add words to it, make it for a shirt, make it for an ornament, a Santa sack, a tumbler, put a background on it, make the Care Bear look like it's in the snow. You can do all of those different things. Let's see. I'm going to go to recent, and where is the winter? Where is my winter Grinch? I think this is the draft. It's not the one that I want, but we're going to open that one up. We're going to copy. I'm going to move my Grinch. I'm going to go paste, shrink it down, bring it to the front. So I can put my Care Bear in front of the snow. And if I go to library, I'm going to go to my fade bars, which can be purchased on our website, shop.hsink365.com. I'm going to add the gray. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So let's undo. I didn't realize I had that selected. So we're going to undo. We're going to go back to the library. I'm going to merge this in. Take our transparency down. Send it to the back. I'm going to rotate it, stretch it some. I don't know, my gray one seems to be cut off a little bit. I could have probably used the black one. Yeah, I probably should have used the black one and just taken the color down, because this is cut off at the end and I don't know why. So I can either make it look like he's standing on the snow by putting a shadow there, which I think I want to take the transparency down. It's still a little bit too much. I just need it to be subtle because I don't want, it is white, so I don't want it to be too much. I'm going to take that down. Oh, perfect. That is perfect right there. Or I could have made it to where, let's just like the Grinch, and it's behind the snow, and then I can add words to it. So we're going to put him where he's in front, but the snow cap, I don't know if I want the snow cap in front or behind. I kind of like everything to the front. I mean, everything to the back. And then we can add some text. So we're going to wrap up. Give me some text to add. Aw, thank you, Casey. Thank you. Thank you guys for the gems. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm going to brand it. Mary So we're going to make this. This one, we're going to do. I got to find a good script. Come on now. All right. Let's see. Why does it keep getting stuck? Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm probably going to make this one a little bit darker, the darker blue, or slightly lighter. I don't think I'm going to try it, but I don't think I want a white outline around this. I don't know. It might make it stand out some. We're going to see. Actually, I like that way. There we go. So we made us a custom Care Bear and then Merry Inkmas. Uh-oh, shoot. And group it all together. There we go. It's cute. Oh, y'all should see it on TikTok. It's all nice and bright and stuff. I'm actually going, so here, this is where the professor really goes into like professor mode, because now I think I want this to technically be behind the snow caps. I think, do I want them? Can I get them behind there without looking all crazy? I think I want the snow to kind of come in front of it a little bit. I don't know. Nah, I like it better the way it was. So we're just going to select everything and send it to the back. Move this back down. I think it actually sat pretty good right here in between the arms. And I'll probably put some type of saying underneath. But yeah, there we go. I went from not knowing what I was going to do to keeping you guys for an hour and 15 minutes. So I didn't want it to be that long. I wanted it to be nice, short, and sweet and simple, but I couldn't just do the holiday Care Bear and not put it on a scene or something. So, and this can be literally any background. It doesn't have to be, sitting in the snow. It can be on a red and gold one, green one, pink one, whoever, whatever. Any questions for me? Aw, thank you. Love it. Super cute. Yeah, I can't help myself. I really can't. I had to add some type of text to it. So I have to rewatch and practice. So yeah, all you have to do is go on, find any image. Like I said, originally I did this and they saw it on TikTok where I did Bluey and Bingo. And you just want to find you can use just a regular PNG and then just like, stretch it and skew it around the head. Or you can look for one that's line art, trace it, and then do what I did here. So anyone can do it. I did not use any tool or function that is that requires like designer edition, business edition, or anything like that. And you can find all these images on Google. I will give the disclaimer that this is for education and teaching purposes and demonstration purposes for 25 days of Craftzmas only. Should you choose to go pull an image off of the internet, do understand that that intellectual property belongs to quote unquote damages for using their intellectual property. So just be mindful of that. But it's always great to take what you've learned inside of a tutorial, even if it's using licensed imagery, and just practice. That way, when you are doing it on something, like if you just kind of found an image from Creative Fabrica, let's say you are somebody that likes dogs, and only because I was just watching it on Hallmark, you have a corgi and you had an image of it and you want to put a Christmas hat on the corgi. So you can do that because you have, the right to use that image because you purchased it or download or whatever. it would be the same exact steps, okay? Someone says that would make a cool card. So that's what we are originally going to do. Um I always do cards. So this could be, it's right now set up for a tumbler. But if you were doing this, which now, of course, Velma, see, it's not my fault, y'all. Blame Velma. Don't blame me. She brought up Christmas card. I was trying to not do a Christmas card, but she brought it up. So we can do a box and we can go with 7 by 5. I'm going to duplicate it to the top because now it's going to fold over. Okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to duplicate it. I'm going to place it right here in the corner, shrink it down. Let's see. Okay. So this isn't the same proportion. So we would have to adjust this some. So I'm going to click off. I'm going to take my snow cap and increase that size. I'm going to take my background and increase that. Take my rectangle that I created. We're going to send this to the back. My rectangle, we're going to copy it. Hold down Shift, click on the background and crop. Paste in front. Uh-oh, I copied the wrong thing. Did I? I don't know. I think I did. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to hold down Shift, select the snow cap, crop that to get rid of all the other stuff and make that a compound path. I'm going to take my white here, increase the size of this, paste in front, hold down Shift, and crop. Send all of this to the back. Move this over. And now, because this is a wider space, I'm able to make that bigger. You can add other words to it. So we transform this into a card. You know, I couldn't resist. I've done a card. So I'm successful. I have shown a greeting card every year since we have started this 5 years ago. All right. So now that we have this all kind of like set up, we want to have it to where we can, you know, fold it and it's like all connected. If you're going to add any words to the back, like a stamp, I'm just going to use this as an example. You want to rotate this so that when you print it out and you close it, it reads the right way on the back. So you want to rotate that. I'm going to take a line. We're going to make that a dash line. Hold down Shift, click on the top part. We're going to the top rectangle. I'm going to align it to the bottom. Click off. All right. And then we want to, I'm going to go paste in front again. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to select them both and weld it. So now I have my solid piece. I have my dotted line or my perforated line where it's going to fold, or you can leave that off and just fold it in half. And if you want to make this white, you can, or whatever color you want that background to be. I'm going to group it. I'm going to copy it, paste it. And then this would be ready to print for you to write on the inside. If you decide that you want to type on the inside versus just writing yourself, we want to duplicate this because it's already set up for us. We're just going to ungroup. We're going to remove like all of this stuff. So I only want this part. And this part down here would be the back part of the card. This would be the top, like the inside of the front. This would be on that side. So your words would go here. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Well, depending on how you put your paper in. Technically, it could go here too. It just depends on how you load the paper back in. But you'll just use this to write your words out. You want to just kind of print it out to make sure it's printing the right way. Because actually, if this prints out this way, this would be the back of it. No, it would go here. It would go there. So that would be that if you wanted to turn it into a greeting card. All right. Thank you, Velma. Because I was trying to figure out, should I cheat? But if no one said anything, I was going to do it. But I've never not done a greeting card. And all my other days are filled up. So yay. 5 years in a row showing a greeting card. It wasn't supposed to be one, but hey, we did one anyway. Yay. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so very much. And of course, you can make this into anything, guys. I had it as a tumbler template. It can be a mug. Shirt wise, it'll just be a box. But, there are certain things that you probably could do to kind of like, finesse it to make it work for a shirt. I can turn this into a snow. Ooh, I might do that myself. I'm going to probably turn it into a snow globe. Oh man, now see earlier the creative juices weren't flowing. Now the juices are flowing. Now the juices are flowing. It's so many things I could do now. So I might play around with this over the weekend because now the juice, now the creative juices, they're just flowing. And I'm visualizing a whole lot. But this is the end of day 5 for 25 days of Craftmas. Make sure that you guys tune in tomorrow for another wonderful craft, but you have to watch it over on Facebook. DIY Crafting Network, because I'm not sure like if the other crafters have their own platforms. Those who do normally go live for their audience as well. But if you want to find it for sure, go over to DIY Crafting Network over on Facebook. Okay, I will come back and I'll leave a direct link to the page. I'll leave it in the comment section. And I'll remember to do that on my next video, put it in the description already, but I'll go in all the platforms and I will drop a comment with a direct link to the DIY Crafting Network. Everyone goes on at different times. We're trying to make it where we can kind of schedule out. We know that for the week of the 10th or the 16th, we're definitely trying to have those scheduled out and have the actual times because that's our anniversary week. Everybody will be doing something related to wood. So we're going to try and have those times for sure. But like for me, I had a lot going on. I had parent meetings, so I came on a little bit late this evening. But just go over there, follow it. And whenever someone goes live on there, you should get the notification. All right. Don't forget to visit our website for HS Inc. Our website is shop.hsink365.com. Once you go and you create your design, if you would like to make a greeting card with it, you can use our pigment ink. If you want to sublimate it to something, we have amazing sublimation. Paper and ink. Our sublimation paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. All orders before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time get shipped out the same day. After 3 p.m., they go out the next day. On Fridays, they go out on the following Monday. We have our Facebook group, so join our Facebook group. Don't forget to subscribe or follow. Give this video a thumbs up if you have not done so already. If you learned a lot on here, if you're in craft groups and you know they will benefit from it, be so kind and hit that share button. Send it to them in their inbox. If you're able to post it to a group, share it to them, or maybe just leave a post and say, hey, I saw a great tutorial over on the professor's page, or you can go to DIY Crafting Network. Just recommend that others come and check us out and spread the word about our amazing products. All right. I shall talk to you guys later. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Oh, wait, I missed a lot of comments. Hey, boo, how you doing? You are very welcome. And yes, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.